to use any abilities or auto attacks while he was initially stunned underneath that turret. The Deadly Flourish would have surely guaranteed his demise within that range. But yeah, Ignar and FBI just got to play to clear out the waves here as Ignar flashes away to avoid what would have been a lethal rend.
Heal and flash for nothing. So C9 already putting a lot of pressure down in the bot lane, and Blabber just going to take bot Crab off this pressure. Might consider a dive. This is a barriered Jhin.
This is
trying to leave.
FBI all on his lonesome. Vulcan's got Blabber right behind him here. The Vault Breaker's already found the target, and FBI, he's not going to spend either one of the summoner spells. He knows he's dead in that situation. Yeah. Honestly, great job from C9 using that early control over the bottom lane. Thanatos with a flash away from the Ishtal's impact up here on the top side. Avoids any further pressure from Dig, but they'll get that summoner spell at least. Cloud9 up to an early lead.
I do feel like if FBI flashed the initial Vault Breaker, he probably lives, but once it connects, I think
he doesn't want to risk that. As Ignar, nice stop on the recall from Vulcan there. I mean, get something back, but now he could be in danger himself. Tactical keeps hopping and skipping forward. The Rend at least gets a target.
This is wild.
XU wants to jump in. Yeah, this is kind of crazy. Tactical doing a good job making sure that Vulcan doesn't get grabbed by the Ishtal's impact. So Vulcan is still stuck in lane down here. XU is still hanging around nearby. Does have his rock ready to throw. Ignar steps forward. FBI eats half his health bar and damage from the turrets. Tactical goes in and Ignar goes down. Dignitas at least finally gets the kill back on a Vulcan as Tactical tries to stay alive against XU, who gets a double kill, but now he's going to die to the turret. Okay.
It's a brawl.
Yep.
It's a bloodbath in the bot lane.
It's a bar fight in bottom lane.
Blabber's real fed off of this because he's just been farming camps, but let's watch this. So Vulcan has his heal burned in this initial engage by XU after sidestepping the Skarner. And then, crucially, he still has Guardian here. So when they go for this fourth shot, it doesn't actually kill him. He's in range of the Guardian, you can see right there, gets the Guardian shield, is able to actually live this out. Then Tactical, it's just crazy. Why is it? Vulcan's still up there, probably trying to avoid the Jhin damage, but if he stays under the turret, he doesn't get
summoner spell that XU got last time, but Thanatos will not give them the opportunity. And once more, every time we pan down to bottom lane, it's Tactical and Vulcan with total control over this 2 versus 2 head-to-head, as Ignar and FBI going to go back up, see Blabber stealing away the blue buff from XU's side of the map. XU is doing the same thing on top side.
Map, going for a return gank here.
Yeah, remember, Thanatos still without that summoner spell. He knows there's no way out of this one. XU just playing the patient game, and they even give the kill over to Denethor. Nice work from Dig.
Gonna want to get Denethor fed here. You're not running around bot side, and being able to have a map split there, taking blue for blue, but then being able to get the successful gank is definitely advantage Dignitas here.
Yep, and another advantage here for Dig, when you're playing something like Skarner, just a big spongy ball of health, the Protoplasm Harness is so strong as a first purchase. This thing is cheap as dirt.
And Blabber has a level advantage, but technically, Tactical's down the ultimate, and XU didn't spend anything, so we might see a scuffle here for these last 2 grubs.
Okay, grubs, C9 picking up 1, Dig picking up 1, Blabber versus XU here in the pit. Nice, using the ulti coming in from Renata. XU stays alive with the Impale, but only for a moment. Cloud9 taking the kill on the enemy jungler. And that means they will earn themselves control over the last grub here as well, going up 2-1 in that count as Loki slithers after Palafox. He's already forced the flash away from the Anivia, and the Twin Fangs just pour damage onto the health bar.
That is a very poor fight for Dignitas and their overall state of the game. XU gets caught out, and then if we're talking about fights that Anivia can and can't take, that's not a zone Anivia wants to fight in. After the jungler's dead, in the river, completely alone, unable to section off the fight, Palafox has to burn his flash. But just watching the start of this one more time, like Tactical and Vulcan can just push FBI out of the fight entirely. And that's a 2v4, actually, if you don't account for the curtain call, which is all hitting into Vulcan. Easy kill onto XU. And then pretty easy for Loki to then run down Palafox afterwards as well. So big advantage there gained by C9.
Yep, C9 loving that one. Little over a minute on the clock until we get to Dragon number 2. As XU's down here in the bottom side, walks right past the control ward, but Ignar also on the potential wraparound play. Tactical has both summoner spells available, ready to go here, does get stunned up, Vulcan doing a good job trying to block that deadly flourish. Tactical stays alive thanks to the bailout, and FBI, the gun's spinning, but C9's winning. Beautiful timing there from Vulcan to keep his AD carry alive, bring him back from the grave. Nicely done. C9's up 2,500.
That's the combo. That's why you play Callista Renata. You pop the bailout onto Tactical. The Rend Spears get to stay there, and then he can save his own life by taking theirs. So watching this, you know C9's trying to play for the outplay. Tactical doesn't step back into Ignar, buys a lot of time, tanks the W. Vulcan blocks Tactical, which buys time, and then really good timing on the bailout. Easy execute for Tactical, and then just the spacing at the very end here. Cheeky little Q at the end as well to get the next kill.
Great positioning there from Tactical.
Nice, guys. Good shit.
I want to mid flash. Yeah, I'll go mid.
Good.
Flash.
Great foresight from Vulcan, knowing how long he needed to hold it, timing it exactly where it needed to be with that bailout. Honestly, very well played from the bottom lane duo of Cloud9. Happy to see it. And you know what? That's just going to earn them more control over the bottom half of the Rift. They will continue to run the show when it comes to neutral objectives. They will take Dragon number 2 with no contest. So they've won out 2 out of 3 grubs. They've got both of the early Drakes. There's still no Rift Herald to even speak of for another 4 minutes as Dignitas is looking to make a move up here for the top side. Thanatos is your target. Flash Frost follows the Impale for some chain CC, and Denethor goes in, committing the flash to guarantee they've got the damage to get the kill. Meanwhile, back over in mid lane, FBI will fall to a counterplay coming out from C9.
His team killed the enemy AD carry, they killed bot lane, and they took mid plates. So C9 gets the advantage there, but Thanatos goes down once again.
Thanatos, your job this game, Thanatos is playing Helldivers. He airstrikes the team fight at the beginning, he's done. That's it. Everybody else, they're in the position to carry. Now Denethor's in a little bit of danger. Very nice Renata ulti, flies through, hits 4 overall, but Tactical this time is not going to get bailed out. He didn't have the damage to kill off Denethor, so Dignitas gets a big punish. They'll knock down both bottom laners on C9, who are too far forward.
Oh yeah, they were really too far forward. Where did they think the opponent was going to be? I mean, they're that close to their base. C9 did not respect the tempo there to them.
If they weren't ambushing us, our ambush on them would have gone crazy. But unfortunately for C9, they do end up getting a little bit punished there. However, they still do command that 2 Drake lead with a 2,000 gold icing on that cake as Denethor barely staying alive for now. Does get a good knockaway, but the Twin Fangs ultimately find the kill. Dignitas now trying to fight out however they can. Ignar with a flash over the wall to stay alive, but XU won't be able to say the same. Even though he had that protoplasm harness, that's not going to matter. And now Vulcan will tank up the turret damage as Blabber goes on a killing spree. C9 4,000 gold ahead. Chat, it's looking exactly like week 1 for Dignitas.
It absolutely is. Win 1 game to give Palafox Summer a short summer, and they're doing it again. 4,000 gold. This time, their ambush was correctly not counter-ambushed. It was an even number ambush, and they're able to win this one. Cassio just put up so much damage in that fight. Loki delivering the pain. They didn't even have Tactical or Thanatos there, and managed to pick up all 3 kills in the 3-for-3.
Yeah, this is starting to get pretty dire for the Dignitas boys. The only one that really has a chance to bring them back from the precipice of doom is Denethor. And C9 seems to be thinking the same thing, trying to make a play on that Jace, but now they've got to be careful. Reinforcements showing up from both sides here as Loki is going to see Ignar also jumping towards the fight. XU backing away now as Vulcan and Tactical are ready to join the mix. XU eating multiple Twin Fangs, again trying to disengage, has to flash for the extra little bit of distance. Hostile takeover. Tag 2. XU and Palafox in danger as the Flame Spitter is cooking the Skarner, and he will burn down. Thanatos gets the kill on that one as the curtain call opens up from FBI. Trying to find some valuable targets here. 4th shot going to get saved, but it only finds Vulcan. Caught on the wrong side of the Crystallize, but there's no damage. Ready to follow it up. Ignar continuing to bluff that he might go forward, but C9 knows there's nothing left in the Dignitas tank, so C9 will walk away 1-0.
Can be pretty important because as far ahead as C9 is, they don't have like great tools to win the game unless they can find fights like this. This could be huge.
Okay, Thanatos is teleported in. Blabber goes for the Vault Breaker flash onto Denethor. There's your fed Jace. Blink and you'll miss it. He's gone. Thanatos taking that kill as Ignar will be the next to go. The only silver lining here for Dig is that at least it's 19:30 on the clock and not 20 minutes into the game, so C9 cannot immediately go for the Baron right after. But yeah, Dignitas caught unawares on that one, and C9 just get 2 for nothing.
Man, I'm still just... Now that I've done the research on bounties, I see how little supports are worth when they're dying. But watching this play happen one more time, the NAVI shows at the top side, teleport, flank in from the Rumble as Blabber arrives. Really nice of them to give something back to Thanatos, as Thanatos is actually dead now.
Yeah, Dignitas just gave something back to Thanatos as Loki gets caught by the Impale, but there's no follow-up damage here from Palafox. His egg gets scrambled as Blabber's looking to burst him down. XU with the slam into the wall, and the damage from FBI from downtown. Shut down as the 4th shot rains in. That's 3 dead on C9. Dignitas didn't lose a man. Now they got 5v3, only Vulcan and Tactical alive. Dignitas, they might just be going for the Baron. They're down far enough. You got to take every chance you get to get back into the game. Palafox zoning their opponents away for now, but it looks like Dignitas aren't going to start it.
Yeah, don't mind this, actually. Baron hits really hard, is worth less than ever.
Fine, screw it. We'll take Baron.
Kind of risky here. I mean, if Dignitas push them off, that then gives Dignitas inside track on the next Drake, and they just kind of walk there, and C9 has to stop. Now Dignitas has mid-prio. Let's see how well they can control these zones with Palafox's Anivia, if he can just stop them from walking in or get a pick. Oh, he gets hit!
Yeah, that's a lot of damage on Palafox, and he's already dead. Now XU's about to follow Dignitas right when it looked like they were in a decent spot. It all goes to hell, and the fire is hot. Dignitas lose 4.
Remember when I said a lot of times the mid laner can know how to play Anivia, but the team needs to play around it? This is one of those cases where you got to play the Anivia better. Yep. He steps straight up. He's so tunneled on the pick to get Vulcan. Vulcan then, former Spring Split, actually Spring Split MVP right here, does land the pick onto Palafox, but Palafox is way in front. You don't need to do this. They can just play in the river, prevent them from walking in. He doesn't have egg either. They get 1 shot. Then Tactical can just take over the fight on the back end. Blabber can full send it with Loki. They have so much damage once the person who's going to stop them from diving is dead. So now it's back. It's back to 7.
Yeah, this is the slingshot giveth. But the thing is, when you pull that thing back, eventually the rock goes flying the other direction. And now Palafox, the handshake just brings him into his own doom. Denethor, he flashes, he escapes, but with Palafox already dead, C9 once more has the green light. Just like you said, Jat, when the you can't engage champ is dead, guess what you can do? You
Kill
can
them
engage.
All. They all dead.
And XU is going to be a very scorpion-shaped pincushion right about now. Tactical gets the kill on that one. So C9 still with Baron, pushing up even further. Yeah, Vulcan's low. He will not die to that shock blast as Blabber goes all the way in with a cease and desist. Denethor dies, FBI follows, Petrifying Gaze isn't even needed. Now, yeah, you're going to have Palafox alive here in 10 seconds. You're going to have Ignar right beside him, but neither one of them will be able to punish Loki, who with his accelerated empowered recall just goes ahead, heads on back to base. Tactical's going to take the bottom lane tier 2 turret. It's a 10,000 gold lead for C9.
He's snowballed. He's got the full build Callista right there, Static Shiv, Ginsu's, and then the tankiness, Jack Show. So he is flying through these team fights. Blabber just full sending it, and Loki having his best game of the series. That was an insane dive they pulled off at the end there. You can tell they're brimming with confidence. Even after some missteps, they had some of those missteps in the top lane, but they're back on track now.
It's looking like the 9-year streak will continue here for C9.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. You know, Soul Point with an 11,000 gold lead. One could fathom the outcome that C9 walks away victorious here. Dignitas quickly running out of options, and unfortunately, that one yellow bar on the scoreboard, that one advantage that Denethor had has now been erased. Even Thanatos ahead of his counterpart as XU has to continue his retreat here. Yeah, he's got Kanik Rooker and he's got Protoplasm Harness, but he doesn't have much of a chance if C9 Focus fires him as they continue their push forward. QSS purchased for Tactical on the Callista alongside that Jack Show you already mentioned. Just makes him so damn hard to kill. As now C9 going all the way in. Blabber deep into the back line with the cease and desist as Palafox brings Blabber into a compromised spot, but the rest of C9 is so strong, they will just force their way into the enemy base. The curtain call may have opened up, but it's not finding much of a target here. Fourth shot being saved all the way to the end. Yes, it hits Loki, but it's not going to threaten anything lethal as C9 force their way through the top lane. They'll find that top inhibitor first and back themselves away right after, not losing a single man.
One inhibitor down.
C9, all they got to do is make sure they wrap this one up clean.
And the crazy thing about Vulcan is he's been doing it for so long. We heard from Leo, our stats guy, that he's pretty close to passing Aphromoo for leader in all-time LCS assists. So that's
crazy.
Probably going to happen this split if he keeps it up.
Well, Blabber's immediately leading the charge here. However, he may have gone a little bit too far. Resurrection will come through as the Guardian Angel is required. Everybody on Dignitas just camping the corpse, making sure that Blabber can't get out. And right there, it was shades of game one, kind of just C9 getting overzealous, Blabber flying in there without the proper coordination from the rest of the team. So that's at least going to slam the brakes and the push for now. But by the time Blabber's back alive, Jat, we're only going to have about 45 seconds on the clock until the Baron spawns. As the minion waves from C9 barreling in through both top and the mid lane. Bottom lane also stacking up as C9 will have the resources to take out the last remaining inhibitor turret if that's what they want to do. But the Nexus turrets are already even lower. Tactical going to be focused here early on, but he hops right back over the crystallized wall. First Nexus turret already dead. Second one barely hanging on. Vulcan here on the front line. Vulcan mostly unperturbed as Dignitas continue to scramble, but they're not finding anything. Ignar wanted to make a move, but the Twin Fangs kill him off. XU gets a slam into the turret, ruins onto Loki. XU hanging on for now, but Dignitas' carries are already down. Denethor knocked over, and there's nothing left for FBI and XU. A double kill for Blabber. C9's gonna clean it up nice and easy. 28-11, 16,000 gold lead. C9 takes down Dig for a continuing 9-year streak.
C9 owns Dig, and this was a bloody one. C9 needed to snowball this, and I think they did. We got to see Tactical Callista make its return here to the LCS, and Dignitas pick up their first series win of the summer.
C9 feeling good about this one, except for the first game. You're definitely going to want a lot of that back. You still have some of those funny moments like the Blabber Vi dive here in this one. And what it ultimately comes down to, I think, if you're C9, obviously you're happy to get the win. But when you're going up against the other top teams in the league, like LYON or like FlyQuest, those are the types of mistakes that got to be fixed. But for now, with the C9 2-1, we're tossing back to the lounge.
Woo! That was a mega banger. I was hoping that there would be something in the air that would have a different